Welcome everyone to the course of marketing research and analysis. In the last class, we had introduced to the course and we were continuing with the definition of marketing research and the importance of it. We were discussing about the framework of the marketing research, the role of marketing research framework basically. So, let us go back to it and start from there itself. So, the role of marketing research actually is affected by several parameters. For example, you have the customer groups as we discussed, the consumers, employees, shareholders, suppliers. Then you have some of them which are controllable marketing variables, you have some uncontrollable marketing variables, right. For example, economy, technology, political factors, and then the marketer, it helps the marketer to take decisions, right. And for example, decisions like segmenting the market, targeting finally selecting the target market, create the marketing programs, what kind of marketing program should be done so that it can attract and create a happy climate for the customer, and then how to check your performance and control it. So, let us look at it. The role of marketing researcher in supporting the marketing decision maker can therefore be summarized as describe the nature and scope of the customer groups, correct. Understand the nature of forces that shape the customer group. So, what are the forces that shape the customer group? So, the forces are basically both this the marketing forces, for example, the economy, technology and all these things, correct. So, understand the nature of forces that shape the marketer's ability to satisfy the customers, the targeted customers groups, right. So, by what product, what price and all. Test individual and interactive marketing mix variables. The marketing mix are basically the 4 P's we say the marketing mix, for example, the product, place, price, promotion, and then monitor and reflect the past success and failures in the marketing decisions. So, this is basically the role of any manager, right. So, be it in the field of management or any other social science, but we are especially talking about the management and the marketing because this course is all about marketing research. Okay. So, important considerations. Marketing research should aim to be objective. First, you should, when you are doing a research in marketing, you should be very clear. Your the research should aim to be very precise and objective. It attempts to provide accurate information in an impartial manner. Research motivated by personal or political gain involves a breach of professional standards. Such research is deliberately biased to result in predetermined findings. So, any research which is motivated or biased by some other factors, political or non-political, it has no meaning because it is a biased research, right. The motto of every researcher should be find it and tell it like it is, and therefore, researchers are assumed to be very honest and with people with full of integrity. So, they would find out, their job is to find out and tell exactly what it looks like, so that the decision maker can, it helps the decision maker to take its decision properly. What are the fields of information? So, we said earlier that the entire research processes is what binds the processes of marketing and marketing research is the field of information or the information basically. So, what is this information all about? This recognizes that marketing decisions are not exclusively supported by marketing research. So, only marketing research does not help. So, there is something you collect information through several other ways. There are other means of information support for marketers from management consultants, raw data providers such as call centers, direct marketing, database marketing and telebusinesses. So, today though you are even taking help of internet through getting social media marketing, social media data. So, all these things you are collecting information. These alternative forms of support are now competing with the traditional view of marketing research. Earlier when in the past we are talking about marketing research, so you are understanding to build a questionnaire, go to the field, collect some data, analyze, interpret or have a focus group, whatever it was. But today the field of the scope of marketing research has immensely grown up because it has with the connection of technology, what has happened is your scope of collecting data has increased tremendously. Today you are getting millions of data over the social or the social media, and maybe you can get again millions of data from maybe stores like Pantaloon from of Walmart and all, so or banks. So these data can be easily analyzed with high powered computers and all. Earlier this was not the case. So there used to be a limitation to the marketing research processes also. So this many marketing decision makers are increasingly using these other sources which collectively are changing the nature of skills demanded in market researchers. So earlier what skills a market researcher demanded, today it is not that much, it is quite, it has increased. So what kind of demands do companies have, what do they expect from the researchers, market researchers is quite higher than what it used to be in the past. Today it is not just making a questionnaire and collecting data and analyzing with a small data. Maybe you have to understand how to deal with large data sets, right, and how to understand the problems of the data, right. Is the data a clean data or not? First of all, are you understanding that? So how do you clean those data, and all these things can be thought of. So what has happened in the new times is that market research has been added with something called the big data and predictive analytics. So market research plus big data plus predictive analytics is the call of the day. So every company is interested to predict the future with the help of the market research techniques and the use of big data, right. So what is this saying? The use of big data, for example, big data means, as the name suggests, large data sets, right. For example, as I said, banks, for example, State Bank of India, and every day must be having lakhs of people coming into its bank, its offices, right. So what do they come for, why do they come for, out of that how many people are coming for loan, how many are coming for, let us say, house loan, how many of them are coming from car loan, how many of these people are actually good credit worthy people, how many of them are actually defaulters. So all this kind of data, just imagine when a company like, or a institution like State Bank or something, they can have billions and billions of data, correct. So the use of big data for market research and other business applications in order to significantly improve business results and overall market valuations has increased, right. So the demand has increased, new startups are coming up every other day which are into the field of data analytics, right. So how to understand this data, how to utilize this data and help some other company to create its customer base is of significance. Three companies that have triggered the most buzz about big data, it would be Google, Facebook and Amazon. If I talk about, if I can think, so these three names come to my mind first. Google, so we know Google, you type anything on Google, there is an information, right. Facebook, a social media giant, correct. Amazon, a retail giant. So the kind of data these companies are amassing and the kind of prediction they are making about the customers, their behaviors, is something which is extremely complex and extremely it demands utmost talent. Okay. What is this big data all about? So let us take a case, let us go with a small example. When one performs a search on Google, you are performing a search, make a comment on Facebook, you are writing something, right. Let us say you are writing about a particular product, this product is very good or very bad or whatever, or tweets, he creates data. But this is only part of the data creation explosion. So there are several ways of data creation. So this is the important part. A purchase at Flipkart.com, one of the e-commerce giants, or sign up for Netflix is also creating data, right. An email to the Marico company, Marico.org, and one of the India's largest FMCG group, or a booking on Yatra.com, a travel giant, taking a mortgage, filing income taxes, making an insurance claim. For example, when you go to any insurance claiming company or selling company, insurance product selling company, you see that when you are dealing with any kind of information sharing, see today though it has become much wider, even on mobile phones, when you are downloading an app and you are giving permission to use your data to control your, let us say, the phone SMS, even your photos, your what not, everything. So everywhere it is flooded with data, right. extremely large data sets. So, what it says is basically extremely large data sets that may be analyzed computationally to reveal patterns, trends and associations, especially relating to human behavior interactions. So, is there some relationship between, let us say, kind of purchase and the kind of weather? Now, that is being very very surprising kind of a statement. Is there a relationship between particular kind of products and the sales of these products at a particular weather condition? Now, could be, yes. For example, snacks are more prevalent, or maybe people like to buy snacks online maybe when it is a rainy weather, or you can say people love to buy sports equipments when winter is going to come or something. So, this kind of things can happen. So, it can help you to understand these trends, right. So, which kind of people are buying what kind of books, what kind of products, all these things are being every day continuously checked. So, whenever you are visiting any social media any site, for example like Amazon, you get next day maybe you get a kind of a suggestion that you might be interested for such products, correct. So, how do they do it? Because they are continuously checking our patterns, our behaviors, okay. Big data falls into two distinct categories: data used for predictive analytics, so to predict the future, and social networking data. So, let us see. So, corporations collect and warehouse the data for analytic purposes. They collect the data, they store the data, right. Example, a mortgage company stores a list of good loan candidates, that means candidates who had a good credit worthiness, okay, and they were paying their loan back in the right time. An insurance company lists possible fraud sources. Amazon predicts new customer product interests based on the past behavior, okay. So, this is what predictive analytics does basically. Social networks, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and Flickr create unstructured data. So, this data is in a very unstructured way, right. Somebody has written one line, somebody has written a word out there, somebody has written something out of his emotional statement or something. The flow of comments and information between participants is free, obviously, right. So, but this is an important data, it helps you to, I will give you a very beautiful example of one company which developed a interesting product out of its inference drawn through social media data. Now, what happened was, this company was used to sell cranberries juice. So, cranberries juice is basically was found to be a very important, very liked juice, but interestingly the company found that although people liked cranberry juice, they did not buy it, and it was especially to do with women, right. So, women went to the stores, but they did not buy the cranberry juice, and when the company took around some 5 lakh of half a million to 1 million data, and they on the social media, and they analyzed when they saw what women talk about cranberry juice on the social media and what do men talk about, they interestingly found that actually cranberry juice is associated with a social stigma, you can say, that is that it is used for treating urinary tract disorders, right. So, cranberry is basically, it works as a medicine, you can think of as a natural medicine for treating any urinary tract infection, right. So, women when they were buying from the store, they thought ki if I buy a cranberry juice from the store, then others who are watching me might feel that I have a UTI problem, urinary tract infection problem. So, they were they were avoiding the product. Now, that was a very interesting thing that came out from the analyzing the social media data, right. So, as a result, companies now came up with some interesting products. So, they what it did was, they said they changed the name, and instead of highlighting the cranberry, they highlighted some other products. For example, they said guava cranberry, right, cranberry. So, by highlighting the products, what they did was they found astonishingly great successes, right. So, this is what social media does. So, the point is, earlier days you were having a focus group of maybe 15-20 people or 10 to 12 people, but today you can have a focus group between maybe millions of people on the social media. And I think when you have, and we are all very pretty sure that when you have millions of people on the social media and they are discussing on the same topic, whatever inference you can draw would be much robust than when you discuss and you interpret a finding from analyzing only 10 to 12 people, right. Large advertising firms using software for social media monitoring, for example Hootsuite, Cloud, to tame this unstructured data universe. So, you see many new fields are emerging today because of the use of data analytics, data analysis and all marketing research trends. So, new fields are emerging where young students and young people and even people who have knowledge in this field can create their new profession right out of it. Fields such as social media network analysis and sentiment analysis. Recently I am working on one field on which is a online cyber crime on cyber crime, to traffic or to track people who are involved in cyber crime. So, to do this we are using this method sentiment analysis to understand what is the sentiment of these people who are basically the predators or the prey whatever they are, but they are involved in the process. So, it is helping us to understand them and to maybe built in a system so that we can track those people and easily catch them and save the innocents before they fall into the trap. So, natural language processing is a method where we are using in order to do such kind of also things, right. How big data can enhance the marketing research? So, see, it is not different. People sometimes misinterpret that marketing research is different, big data is different. No, they are not different, they are working for the same thing. So, how you see predictive analytics, particularly in those companies that hold large customer information warehouses, for example Amazon, can append information to survey data to add segmentation value. So, they can use this data and infer from this, analyze this data and infer how to create a better product or value for the target segments. Survey researchers can use data mining from such warehouses to create customer reports or segmentations. Conventional data mining tools such as regression analysis, CAD, which is basically on a chi-square analysis technique, right, or card trees or decision trees, neural networks are employed by both predictive analytics and marketing research. Both, although the field is called predictive analytics, basically what you are doing is you are trying to predict the future, and marketing research also helps you to do the same, they are not different. So, let us see what is basically happening here. A new field is therefore emerging. So, in order to integrate both the things, big data MR. Now, what is this big data MR? It is the art and science of combining consumer data, behavioral data, attitudinal data and advanced analytics to produce better and faster decisions that yield superior business results, right. So, since you have understood by now, you have understood how vast the data sizes are. It is the convergence of these two disciplines, big data. So, it talks what big data has, the transactions, the orders, steps taken, images, photos for example, etc., and market research and the analytical disciplines that go along with all of it. So, marketing research plus big data is what is the big data MR, right. So, it yields enhanced products and services which in turn create a competitive advantage. What are the big data MR application? Let us take an example. A classic example application of big data MR is the use of research to understand the key drivers of some observed behavior. For example, use traditional data mining methods. You observe an alarming, using traditional data mining methods, you observe an alarmingly decline in your market share for a, let us say, high margin product. So, there is a high margin product in a specific location and you are finding that the share is falling, the market share of this product in this particular location is falling. So, traditional MR methods, using this you study a sample of customers exhibiting reduced purchasing behavior to uncover the attitudinal. So, what is the change? MR methods help you to uncover the attitudinal drivers. What is the attitudinal drivers of the change? Otherwise, that you could not have inferred from big data, right. You can, it here MR helps you to understand what is the change of attitude in these people who are not buying at the moment, why it has come down, right. 3 root causes of the slower consumption was found. Economic fears. So, some people found had economic fear, so the economy might not do good. New alternatives were there possibly, and new direct marketing from a competitor. So, the competitor has come up with a new direct product marketing technique, and that is also might be a cause. These 3 drivers would not present themselves in your consumer or behavioral data, right. Instead, they are locked away in the heart and minds of your customers, so that they do not speak to you on this, right, waiting for you to ask them the why behind and what they are doing or not doing. In other words, your data demonstrates the effects while your research provides the causal underpinnings. So, data only tells you the effect, what is happened, but why it has happened, what is the reason behind it, no, that cannot be said. So, here comes the MR techniques which will help you to understand the attitudinal changes, the behavioral changes in the people, right. Several preferred remedies from this same customers were uncovered, and the company started offering smaller quantity packages and reminded them of the real benefits of the premium product. So, by doing these two things, the attitudinal changes which were happening, they were controlled. So, big data MR is the observation of some behavioral change in your market or customer database, followed by attitudinal research to understand what is driving that behavior. So, how is this different from how companies behave today, where they see a sales problem in one set of data and go learn about it in another? Predictive analytics allows you to precisely forecast. So, predictive analytics is limited in the sense that it helps you to only forecast how behaviors will change under different packaging, pricing and messaging scenarios by directly linking to sales information to the attitudinal information you have collected, right. So, basically predictive analytics is helping you to predict the future basically. So, what is the bottom line? The bottom line is this: the integration of multiple data sources and multiple analytical disciplines yields superior insights that can be immediately applied to improve business performance. So, all these things, the big data along with the marketing research techniques can be utilized to understand how to improve the company's performance, right. So, both of these things should be seen together, right. How big data liberates research? So, it is, as I said, big data and research are not different, but they support each other, right. It is not replacing research, marketing research here I mean marketing research, but rather is liberating it. Researchers are liberated from having to generate a new survey on each learning occasion, right, because big data has happened. So, ongoing big data assets can be leveraged for many topics, allowing subsequent primary research to go deeper and fill in the gaps. So, along with the big data analytics, you can use marketing research so that these gaps are fulfilled where big data is unable to touch it, because it here you are understanding the deep insights, right. So, you go deep and find out the gaps. Researchers are liberated from needing to rely upon blotted surveys and instead can keep surveys short and focused on those variables that are ideally suited, resulting in better data quality. So, when you are doing a data, sometimes it is important that you go deep vertically down and understand the psychology, the sentiments of the people. This is where it comes to great help. This marketing research techniques help you greatly. Okay. Once liberated, researchers can use their established first principles and insights to impact accuracy and meaning into the big data assets, leading to new areas of survey based exploration. So, together only they will try, coming together only big data and marketing research techniques can help any company improve its performance. There are some misconceptions. What are they? The first is marketing research does not make decisions. Okay? The role of marketing research is not to make decisions actually. Rather, research replaces hunches, impressions or a total lack of knowledge without pertinent information. Research helps you to provide some insights where the decision is taken, right. Marketing research does not guarantee success. Research at best can improve the odds of making a correct decision, only that much. Anyone who expects to eliminate the possibility of failure by doing research is both unrealistic and likely to be disappointed. Nobody says that, right. There are cases where without going for a research, company or an institution has floated a product and luckily they have been successful, but it does not happen all the time. You need to be, you cannot predict and you do not invest your hard-earned capital into such kind of ideas which has not been tested or researched. That is extremely dangerous and not advisable obviously. Marketing research cannot be blamed from every failure also. So, let us take these two cases: blind optimism or disbelief in research. Blind belief or blind disbelief, both are wrong. Many patently bad products have been launched because marketing management did not believe research findings. Example is Microsoft Vista. The product was not found to be compatible and the performance was also not found to be satisfactory, right. So, automatically Microsoft Vista became a failure product, right. Similarly, political pressures Given how many personal reputations may be at stake in the lengthy and costly process of new product development, there may be political pressures to launch a borderline case. For example, we have seen certain when the government is interested in certain projects. So, they try to without looking at the current requirement or the sentiments of the population of the country, right, or the people of the country, they try to launch in some products. So, that is out of a political compulsion maybe, but then it has not been researched well. So, that can be a problem of such products being successful, then you can't blame research for that, right. Challenges, three biggest challenges are impactful reporting. That is a very big challenge. The ability to provide or receive consultative reports to tell a cohesive story and account for all the pieces of the puzzle in the client's world. So, to have a impactful reporting is very important and it is a big challenge because there are so many pressures, right. Technology, its introduction, use and reliability. Are you in a position to use technology for your benefit? So, that is a big challenge. Every day technology is coming up with something new. How up to date you are? How can you move with the technology? Data management, how businesses gather, handle and integrate the vast amounts of data, as I said, from Amazon or State Bank of India for example, or any insurance company, from both primary and alternative resources to make sense of all the data points. How do you use them, how do you interpret them is really becoming a need of the hour and the challenging thing, right. So, the future is growing demand for managerial skill in marketing researchers. So, data analytics you say or market researchers you say, there will be a demand for every company in order to create a competitive edge. So, what do research and market research industry of the future will be required to? First, think conceptually, think, you need thinkers, to come out with new ideas, new ways of thinking or new ways of creating ideas and adapting to them, all these things. Communicate in the way that those who commission research think. So, you need to communicate well, so that the people who have invested in you and who are the stakeholders, they need to be told well about your ideas, right. Interpret the findings in not a in a silo, but in isolation, but in totality, right. So, that is very important, and integrate the findings with others that support market decision makers. So, you have to integrate the findings. Suppose for example, you do a market research and then you do not integrate it with the other functional areas of the company, then you might not be doing the right thing, right. You have to integrate with all of them and then only the company can grow. The objective of the course is to help to be able to cope with the technical challenges to plan, gather, analyze and interpret information. So, information is there, but you need to gather it, analyze and interpret it. To guide researchers through the challenges faced in the conducting marketing research of the highest quality. So, at the end of the course, I would be very happy if I am not saying we can solve all problems, neither market research itself can do that, but at least if you are feeling confident and you are in a position to decide what to do and what not to do, then I think this course is of some success and I have done some justice to the course. To provide an appropriate blend of scholarship with a highly applied and managerial orientation. So, because this course is marketing research, I would be focusing only on market and marketing research. So, I am not taking you too much here and there besides the marketing research. The course material is presented in a manner that is easy to read and understand. There are numerous diagrams, tables and examples to help you to understand the concepts, right. So, I am going to stop here. I hope the objective was very clear and I wish you a bright future. I wish that you understand these things very clearly in the due course of the course and use it for your benefit and do your research well. Thank you very much.